Africa Briefing Podcasts. I'm Jon Offei-Ansah, and today we are unpacking a story that's ripping across Southern Africa and shaking the very foundation of the continent's most ambitious economic projects. We are heading to the border, not just any border, but the usually bustling Kasumulu crossing between Tanzania and Malawi, now eerily quiet. Trucks are idle, drivers are stranded, and somewhere on the Tanzanian side, tons of rotten bananas sit as a vivid symbol of just how tense things have become. Why? Because Tanzania has pulled the plug on all agricultural imports from Malawi and South Africa. And it's not just a market scuffle. It's a full-blown trade row, and it's exposing cracks in Africa's push for unity through trade. So in today's episode, I ask, what triggered the ban? Who's hurting most? And crucially, what does it mean for the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA for short, at a time when Africa needs to look inward, trust inward, and trade inward more than ever? Now, let's dive in. So here's what happened. Just after midnight this past Wednesday, Tanzania dropped a bombshell, a full ban on agricultural imports from both Malawi and South Africa. No warning, no grace period, just bam, border sealed to food produce. Tanzania Agriculture Minister Hussein Bashe made it clear this was retaliation. See, Malawi recently slapped restrictions on Tanzanian imports: flour, ginger, rice, maize, and bananas. They said it was temporary, aimed at shielding local farmers from foreign competition. South Africa, well, they've had a long-standing ban on Tanzanian bananas, not new but not forgotten. And Bashe's response, and I quote, "We must all respect each other in business," unquote. The language was diplomatic, but the move was deliberate. At the Kasumulu crossing, chaos unfolded. On a normal day, over 15 lorries crisscrossed the border carrying everything from tomatoes to maize. On Thursday, barely a handful made it through. And on the Malawian side, it was even worse. Truckers were stuck with nothing to transport. Happy Zulu, a local trader, told the BBC that drivers were, and I quote, "scrambling to find alternative products," unquote. Many of them are used to shipping perishable goods, but now, even basic staples like maize and potatoes are off limits. Earlier in the week, Minister Bashe posted a video online. It showed bananas rotting in the back of a stranded truck, a powerful and frankly painful image of how fast trade can collapse when policies enter the picture. Now, let's talk consequences. And they are not evenly distributed. For Tanzania, it's a flex. They've got options. They can pivot to other regional partners, Kenya, Namibia, maybe even South Sudan. Their ports are working, their exports are diversified, and they are not landlocked. Malawi, however, is boxed in, literally. It's landlocked, and much of its outbound trade depends on Tanzania's port of Dar es Salaam. Tobacco, sugar, soybeans, all of that usually moves through Tanzania to reach the world. And now, Malawi is going to have to shift to the Mozambican ports of Beira or Nacala. Logistically feasible, but more expensive and slower. And let's not forget South Africa. While its economy can absorb the blow, the ban on fruit exports, grapes, apples, citrus, and so on and so forth, will hit specific sectors and small-scale farmers the hardest. But the real story here isn't just about logistics. It's about vision. Africa, just 4 years into implementing the African Continental Free Trade Area, is supposed to be putting together, not falling apart. AfCFTA was created to eliminate tariffs, boost intra-African trade, and finally move the continent away from dependency on foreign markets. It's a beautiful idea and a desperately needed one. But here we are, with major players in Southern Africa erecting the very barriers AfCFTA was meant to dismantle. To put it bluntly, this kind of tit-for-tat trade retaliation sends the wrong message. And it's not just about bananas, it's about trusts. If Tanzania, Malawi and South Africa, all members of both AfCFTA and SADC, can't sit at the same table and sort out produce disputes without resorting to bans, what happens when the stakes are higher? And what kind of signal does this send to smaller African economies watching from the sidelines? Now, I want to be fair to all sides. Malawi says its restrictions were temporary, designed to shield vulnerable farmers from being overwhelmed by foreign competition. South Africa may argue that its phytosanitary standards justify the long-standing banana ban. And Tanzania, it says enough is enough. Bashir made it plain, and I quote, Tanzania will not continue to allow unequal market access to persist at the expense of its people, unquote. You can hear the frustration behind that statement. And maybe that frustration is legitimate. Maybe Tanzania is tired of playing nice while others play hardball. But here is the kicker. So is every country. And that's why AfCFTA was created, to create a rules-based system where disputes don't become blockades. Let's zoom out for a moment. Africa is facing turbulent times. Global supply chains are unstable. Climate shocks are disrupting harvests, and donor funding is tightening. The idea that we can rely more on ourselves, on our neighbors, our own farmers, our own transport corridors is no longer just nice to have. It's urgent. And yet, when trade tensions like this arise, we retreat to nationalism. Instead of resolving the issue in Addis Ababa, Lusaka or Gaborone, we slam the doors shut. And it begs the question, are we building the future we said we would? Or just replicating the old patterns with new paperwork? So what happens now? Diplomatic channels are reportedly open. Talks are ongoing. But as of this recording of this podcast, neither South Africa nor Malawi has officially responded to Tanzania's move. There's still time to walk this back, to reopen the border, to recommit to AfCFTA's ideals. But it's going to take more than ministerial tweets and quiet negotiations. It's going to take leadership, the kind that prioritizes continental solidarity over short-term political wins. And it's going to take trust, the most valuable currency in African trade today. That's all from Africa Briefing Podcast for today. Tanzania's stand may be principled. Malawi's defense may be legitimate. South Africa's policies may be technical. But if Africa is to rise together, then the path forward must be built not with bans, but with bridges. Thanks for listening. If you found this episode insightful, please share it with a colleague. Leave a review and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, I'm Jon Offei-Ansah here at Africa Briefing. We believe in a connected, cooperative, and confident Africa. Keep hope alive, and goodbye.